Good afternoon, everyone. How are you today? My name is Singhi Androjati, and I will present about assessing pronunciation. What is pronunciation? Pronunciation refers to the production of sounds that we use to make meaning. It means when we learn a certain language, uh, of course, we have to know how to pronounce the word correctly because in a matter of speaking, the we have to make the conversation or communication becomes understandable, and the pronunciation is one of the aspect to understand how the word is what the meaning of the words and how to pronounce it correctly. All right. uh, Before, I would like to explain a bit why I choose this topic. As we know, and up until now, we know that pronunciation tests it is always be included inside the speaking test. It is not tested by itself. I mean, the pronunciation itself, it's not tested. It is always be included inside the speaking test. So what if the pronunciation takes the test itself? Okay, in having the pronunciation test, we also have the advantages and disadvantages. The first is about the advantages. Number one, to accustom the test takers in distinguishing the words with similar pronunciation. All right, so by learning pronunciation, we sometimes we will find similar words in pronouncing how to pronounce those words, but it actually have different meaning. It is almost the same. It is not the same. Okay, that is the first, and then the second, to avoid misinterpretation in communication. That's what I have mentioned before. So when we pronounce the word correctly, of course, people who heard our words, they will understand the meaning. So it will avoid the misinterpretation. Okay, the third, in terms of scoring, the test is also reliable because of its objectivity. The scoring is efficient. So, in a form of the test of pronunciation test later, we will discuss. It will be very clear for these advantages. Okay, for the next, for the disadvantages. Number one, it is often impossible to manage a large number of students to be tested. Of course, because by having a pronunciation test, for example, when we test the student speaking proficiency, uh, we will have the difficulty of managing the time because we have to test them one by one. It is also the same case for pronunciation because pronunciation is included inside the speaking. All right, so it is a bit difficult for us to manage the large number of students to be tested. Okay, for the next, uh, it is not appropriate to all ages, of course, because mostly in learning language, specifically for the pronunciation, it will have certain grades to achieve. For example, in my own experience, I have the pronunciation in in a college degree. So it is not actually learned in the early degree. For example, in elementary, or we just learn, we just imitate, learning by imitating. Okay, for the next, the tests do not include social context where verbal communication normally take place. So this is very clear that somehow when you know certain words, you know how to pronounce the words and you understand the meaning of that words. The words is not commonly used for verbal communication. So it is only in a matter of academical purposes. You can say it like that. Okay, for the last, success in doing the test is not readily inferable to the ability of the test taker to communicate in what is it? It is closed. Okay, so meaning it does not affect the ability of your communication skill in what is it? In social communication. So sometimes the word is not used, but in the example later on, I will give you the common words. Okay, for the next, how to construct the test, the do's and the don'ts. The do's, you should use common words that the test takers find in the daily communication. So this is what is meant by you should take the similar words that you use in daily communication. Okay, try not to give the very difficult word that students don't really use in their daily basis, because it will make them only confused. So they need to practice in daily, so when they communicate with their friends, they know how to pronounce it correctly. Okay, for the next, if it is possible, try to use native speaker cassettes to avoid mispronounced words and to accustom the test takers to listen native speakers. So this can be the source of the reliable for what is it, to assess how they pronounce the word correctly. So when they are asked to pronounce something, and then you, as the teachers, you want to say whether it is correct or not, you have to rely to some source so that students, what is it, they will believe that the correct pronunciation is that way. Okay, for the next, choose the words with similar pronunciation. Of course, we have to choose with a similar pronunciation, because we know that the meaning can be different. Okay, the don'ts: give a large number of items at the same time. Of course, we should not give them, what is it, like 100 test items. It is impossible. It's difficult. It is possible, but it's very difficult. What we want to what is it? What we want to assess is that whether they understand how to pronounce it correctly, how to what is it, make it difference between one word with another, which is similar in pronunciation. Okay, for the next, put the distractors that can be easily recognized by the test takers. So this is what is it? This is the basic of how to make a test. You should not make the easy distractors. You should make a bit harder for them to do. Okay. Okay, the type of test for the pronunciation, we have several here that we want to discuss. The first is sound discrimination, and then sound definition, same sound, sorry, odd man out, and then gap filling, sound recognition, intonation pattern, and word stress. Okay, we will discuss it one by one. For sound discrimination, the test takers listen to one word or sentence and circle one they hear. The options should have similar pronunciation. So this is the sound is almost the same, but it is different. It is different, but sometimes students may hear it almost the same. It is a bit distracting. Okay, for example, when the test taker listen suck. Of course, they have to circle for number one. It should be A. Okay, for example, number two, when the speaker said but, of course, the test taker should circle the option A, but. So that's how to do this kind of test. But if they hear the speaker said but, of course, they have to circle B for number two. Okay, and then for the rest is easy. Okay, the next is sound definition. Test takers listen to a word and several different definitions, including one that is correct for the word, are given. Okay, so there will be a word spoken by the, what is it, the recorder, the recording, the audio, or maybe the speaker or the teacher. For example, the test taker will listen but, and then they are given several choices. A vehicle that moves in the sea. B, past participle of by. C, coordinating or conjunction. Of course, if they heard but, they should circle B. It is past participle of by. Okay, the next, the same sound. The test taker will listen to two same words and one different word, and they have to circle the same word. They have to choose the same words. Okay, for example, the test taker will listen bit, bit, bit. Okay, so if they hear it clearly, they should answer A and C for number one. Okay, that's easy, right? Okay, for the next, the odd man out. It is the same as the previous test, but only you should take the one that is different. So, for example, test takers will listen bit, bit, bit. And of course, the test taker should answer B, bit, because it is different. It is what is called by odd man out. Okay, for the next, we have gap filling. It is almost the same as any other test that we should fill.